All right, what's up, guys? One of the things that I see that's common for a lot of people who are active is we end up having some pain in our knee, whether it's underneath our kneecap here or on the inside. And I think that there's some things that we can do on our own before we need to go to a doctor that can maybe alleviate some of the pain. And really what we're doing is we're actually strengthening the muscles around the knee to try to take some of the pain out of the knee, because a lot of times there's compensations involved because of the way that we move and muscle imbalance, etc. So I'm going to take us through a series of exercises. If you want to classify them as stretches, corrective exercise, whatever we want to call them. But the first thing I'm going to do is on my back, supine, and I'm just going to go through this, what kind of looks like a hamstring stretch, but you could call this a knee floss exercise. I'm going from flexion right here into extension. So I'm feeling a stretch back here in the hamstring muscle as it connects right behind my knee. But this flossing pattern is just a nice, safe way to go from flexion to extension with the tendons, ligaments that connect right there in that knee joint. So if I do this, 10 to 15 times, just a nice way to work that connective tissue, stretching these hamstring muscles. I'm feeling contraction on the front side of this leg through the quad muscles. So we'll go with this dedicated knee floss exercise, and I would do that on both sides. So here's another good one. I have a surface where I can slide my heel. So I have a little bitty towel underneath my heel. This is a heel slide exercise. So what I want to do from here is just bring this leg up into knee flexion safely. I'm going to hold it there, and then I'm going to extend this leg back out under control. So once again, I can do 10 to 15 repetitions here under control, hitting that in range right there. I feel some tension in the knee, slide it right back out, and reel it back in. So find that slippery surface. I'm driving through my heel under control. And same thing, I'm going from a flexion here back to an extension pattern with my leg happening through that knee joint. All right, so remember I said in the beginning of this, sometimes one of the reasons why we can experience pain in a joint is because the muscles around that joint may lack strength. So another thing that we can do to take away some of that pain in the knee is to do some isometric exercises to strengthen the muscles around the knee. So like we just did with our heel slide, I'm going to slide this heel back up into this position. And now what I want to do is I want to drive my heel down into the ground right here, and I'm feeling muscle contraction back here in this hamstring. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I relax. So that's an isometric hold. I'm engaging all these muscles, and I'm feeling it right back here in the belly of the hamstrings muscles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I relax. So I would do that 10 times on each side, but the key is I have to drive this heel down into the ground so that I can engage the muscles on the backside of my thigh, and I want to feel that. I want to drive that foot down into the ground like I am trying to make a dent in the ground. All right, so now let's try an isometric on the front side of my leg, my thigh. So this will be a quad set or a leg drive down into the ground. So this is the leg I'm working. I have some rolled up towels here behind my knee, and I'm going to straighten my leg down into the ground. You can see I'm driving this leg into the ground, and all these quadricep muscles are all engaged. 2, 1. So I'm doing that for 5 seconds hard, just like we just did for the hamstring. Now I'm taking it up here on the front side of the leg, the quads, driving down, pressing my back of my knee down into the ground. 3, 2, 1. So I would do 10 of those on each leg. Once again, dedicated effort to strengthening muscles in the legs around my knee. So this leg's out of the way, leaning back. Keep this leg straight. I'm just going to raise this leg. Right back down. Raising this leg. So working my hip flexors, but engaging quadricep muscles as I bring the straight leg raise. And I could do this 15 times, but you can definitely feel all these muscles engaging as you bring this leg up off the ground. Straight leg raises. Then that could actually take us into our next exercise, which I'm doing the same thing, but now it's just a short arc leg raise. I have this foam roller, if you can see it, and I'm just gonna do the same thing. It's underneath the back of my leg, and I'm just gonna raise this lower part of my leg and my toes up to the ceiling. I hold it for a second, right back down, relax. Bring it up, same thing's happening. Quadricep muscles are engaged as I bring that lower part of my leg up. If I pull these toes back towards my head, I can feel a good stretch back here in the calf muscles, Achilles, all the muscles underneath the calf, like the soleus, that typically are tight in a lot of people. That's a generalization, but some research will say that. There we go. And I would do 10 to 15 of these on each leg as well. Now, a hip bridge exercise is going to be one of the best things that we can do to strengthen all the muscles in our legs around our knees. So I want to strengthen all the muscles around my hips. I want to strengthen my calves. I want to strengthen my quads, my hammies. One of the great things about a hip bridge is it puts your knee in a very safe spot. So even if I'm experiencing knee pain, this will put me in a very good position to where I'm not going to feel the knee pain as I go through an exercise. Hip bridge, I walk my feet back. I'm going to drive through my heels. I can either keep my arms down for support or I can bring them up. And I'm just going to drive up, squeezing my butt. I feel my quads. I feel my hamstrings. Low back is neutral. I hold that for about 5 seconds, right back down. So here's our hip flexion. I want to get hip extension by squeezing my glutes. I feel my quads, hamstrings. Main driver here for hip extension is going to be these glute muscles right here. I want these to be powerful. Right back down. So 3 to 5 second hold in that up position on the hip bridge. And you could do whatever you're feeling like on that. 10 to 15 repetitions is a good number. Okay, so I'm in this sideline position, relaxed, like I'm at the beach or just hanging out. If I want some healthy knees, I can't just think about moving in this forward, backwards, this sagittal plane of motion. A very important set of muscles that need to be worked and thought about for proper knee health is going to be the muscles around my hips. And a great way to work these muscles, like the glute medius right here at the top of my pocket, is going to be through leg abduction. Taking this leg up away from this midline part of my body. So I get into a sideline position, either here or down in this position, and I raise this top leg up. 1, 2, 3, right back down, right back up. So when I take this leg away, I can feel these muscles right here on this top side of my hip have to work. And our magic number seems to be 10 to 15, so I would keep doing that. And I think a good number of times to go through this for dedicated knee health would be 3 sets through all these exercises. And if you don't have the time, pick a few of these exercises and just work on it. Remember, our goal was to alleviate the pain around the knee. And the only way that we're going to do that is through stretching or exercises that will accomplish that. And this is a set of exercises that will do just that. So I hope this is helpful. Get to work.